Forced to grow up moments, according to Reddit. Number 15. After I dropped out of college, I worked at a Home Depot as a cashier for a while. Then I got fired for never showing up on time. After not being able to cut it as a cashier in retail, I thought, it's probably time to get my act together, huh? I did. Currently, I write code that organizes financial data. I wonder how lucrative that is. Learning to code seems to be something that keeps coming up in our periphery. It might be beneficial. As we continue, number 14. Being prepared to kill my ex-wife and the dude she was fucking on my couch. I realized I needed to live my life for myself. Holy hell. Not nearly, that's your wife. That's your wife and she was playing around with you. No, my God. In your own house. On the couch. Wow. Bitches, man. Jesus Christ. Wonder if there's any more here. Yeah, he comments again. A response says, whatever happened to them? My dude says he left under his own free will, and I left the next morning. I returned a few days later while she was at school to get the rest of my shit. Ugh. I've kept track of her over the years since and convinced her next husband, who also caught her cheating, to take everything because they were in a at-fault state. Oh wow, she was convincing the dude that it was his fault. Where's my whip crack noise? He kept the nice house, the cars, and the bank accounts, and she had to move in with her mother a few states away. Some hoes really just don't know how good they have it. And once they cheat, they believe they can get away with it for the rest of their life. And, it's within them. They are a cheater. They're not changing who they are. So if she was a cheater to begin with, she'll remain that way. And it just sucks because she literally had all of this at her disposal. All she had to do was just be faithful, be monogamous. And it's hilarious because these days you don't need to be monogamous. If you don't want to be, you can find somebody else who doesn't want that either. And you guys can be filthy together and catch all the STDs. Pokemon, gotta catch you. I told you. My courage will pull us through. I will go to the clinic with you. What's that smell? Number 13. All right. When I realized that I needed to start socializing with people, otherwise I couldn't get anywhere in life. I'm not gonna do that. I don't care where I don't get in life. Fuck people. I'm mostly an introvert, and I hate to go outside because the grind never stops. At some point, though, I realized that if I never socialize, I wouldn't make any friends, and would never feel good about myself whatsoever. What kind of basic Facebook browsing asshole are you where you need this as a stipulation to feeling good about yourself? Okay. You need that validation from other people. Strange. Bizarre. Okay. Ever since that moment, I started going out with people, chatting with people online. I started expressing myself a little bit better, and I might have a girlfriend soon. Positive words of encouragement for you. Honesty is a good thing. I don't know if it still fits as the grow up moment, but I hope it does. I'm just gonna find the downvote button there. I am entitled to my own opinion, and here it is. Ugh. Number 12. Right when I graduated college and moved out on my own, I received around $100,000 in inheritance. Boy, where's my 100,000? Started spending money like it was nothing, to the point where I finally checked my finances and realized I had spent over $30,000 in 9 months. And there are other things on this playlist that I have open. Amusing. Let's get back to that track. Thank you. Okay, before it gets particularly ridiculous. All right, I got some stupid stuff. on this playlist. Alright. It was only when I ran through the numbers that I realized I was being a total and complete idiot. Yeah, you know you love the fact that this channel's run by like a real dude and not some robot that's like trying to harvest money out of all of you. Always weird shit like that going on in these streams. I think this really helped later on in life though. It caused me to save and invest as much money as possible, even when I had a really well-paying job. This is really like a weird flex. And you know, I have to believe that you're doing this to try to throw out a fishing net for women online. Oh, you know, I just have so much money. I was spending it and I realized, oh man, spent so much money. I had to be reasonable with money. While people at my level were buying either a Lexus or a Mercedes, I was clinging on to my Honda Civic and later bought a Prius. Yeah, so there's that bit of pretension at the end. I'm all about the environment in here.
Crack that whip.
What's up, my man Taz? I appreciate that 420 donation. Pretty hot stuff. Pretty gangster indeed. And don't think that I didn't notice that you wanted me to crack that whip. Bing, 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 bing. As we continue up this list, though, we arrive at number 11. I had a child. Roll credits. It wasn't just me. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. It wasn't just me and my adult, fully capable wife who could take up the slack if I screwed up. I now had this helpless little person relying on me. Until she was born, I hadn't held a job for over a year. I then had that job for 8 years. And when I did switch jobs, there was a significant pay increase, and now I've been there for 4 years. Good for you. I'm glad it all worked out. You know? Sometimes you deciding that you need to grow up doesn't mean everything else is going to fall into place. And it's a shame that, you know, we don't get lists with juicy entries like that. We're probably only going to get juicy entries from shit or people where things did fall into place. Maybe the people who I would like an account from are in a cardboard box right now, having lost custody, hopefully, and not tricking their kid out like you see a lot of the times in some of the older, darker stories that I've read. Ain't that wild? Ain't that wild? Now, number 10. Hey, I'm seeing Kay say, you got money, but you're financially irresponsible. That's a big no-no for me. Yeah, anybody with a brain knows that that's a red flag. But, you know, to a young chick, she only gonna see the money. Much like the chick in the beginning of the list that was banging, you know, a dude on her husband's couch, you know? They don't really care. All they care about is like right now. And maybe they're not wrong because we are not guaranteed the next second or minute, but it is wrong to run around on somebody who you have under the impression that you are, I don't know, being faithful with. It's so easy just not to stick it in something else. It's so easy, you know? And if you're the type that's like slutty or even the type to get like drunk or just high off of something, stay away from other people. That's not hard. That's a choice that you can always make. And instead, people put themselves in these crazy ass situations where there's so many ways to like interact with people that don't involve you bending over and receiving. Pretty disgusting. Gilly Savard says, yo, finally got to make it to a live stream. Yeah, this is in the middle of the night. Sorry. We got home from a movie. And then I took a nap that ended up lasting like hours. So, I apologize, but I am here, and we're ready to knock the teeth out of this list. Thank you, Dylan Shipman. This guy. Sexy Amanda is still the stream queen. Wow. May her reign last 1,000 sunsets. I was 15 years old. I had a stepfather who hated kids, and my mom had 4. Me being the youngest. The eldest two bailed as soon as they had the chance because our family was horribly dysfunctional. Is that what word that is? Stepdad would get drunk and abuse my mom. We tried many times to stop him or get the cops involved, but she always backed him up. So fuck it, man. Her dog, her fleas. Interesting way of phrasing that. Interesting. There came a day when stepdad decided that he didn't want to abuse mom. He comes upstairs to me. Being a malnourished 15-year-old facing a drunken ex-boxer with a history of violence was enough to make a boy freeze up. Boy, there's always an equalizer. use your brain if you can't use your brawn. Just because you're not skilled doesn't mean you're stupid. Something I try to let everybody I end up on a team in a video game with no, Jesus. I couldn't freeze up though, or my life would basically be over. I couldn't let the next 5 minutes go his way. So, by the time he got to the top of the steps, I was waiting with a baseball bat. My nigga. Not as much of an equalizer. Oh, he's the word. He's the word that I'm thinking. It wasn't as much of an equalizer as a Sam Colt would have been. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. But it did the trick. I beat the monster. I grew up. My mom and stepdad moved out almost immediately. Her choosing him over us. She said when we graduated high school, she'd sell the house, so be ready. But my next oldest brother was into drinking and threw me out. Good times. Well, this is some of that shit that I was talking about earlier. This is the realest shit that I've read so far on this list, you know? Not to say that like a wife that's fucking some other dude in your house isn't awful. But this is a bit more real, you know? When it comes to like, when you're thinking, oh, forced to grow up stories, you're thinking of a mom or a dad that's so disgusting, so vile, so evil, so creature-esque that, you know, maybe they're chasing a drug habit. Maybe they have a partner that prioritizes, you know, that they prioritize over the children. And then you have to kind of like stand up as a shield or even a punching bag, you know? I'm talking about parents, you're dealing with parents where you become the outlet and you being forced to grow up in a capacity where you're not going to have the childhood that other children clearly and luxuriously are afforded the opportunity to have. That's what I expected this list to be. We have 9 more entries, but we'll see. Haley says,
Hey, Kyle. God, I just love having his dreams on when I'm in the shower.
Kidding. Hey, Stream Chat, having a bad fucking night. What? Counting on this to cheer me up. What did you do? Guys, I don't want you all to become fat, but, you know, it's always an option for you to just stay in your room, you know? Watch some YouTube videos, not the type that like are like mine, you know, as crazy as that is to say. I may be one of the first content creators to go, bro, don't watch my videos. But, you know, my videos have a place and it's kind of like background noise, vaguely entertaining, something to put on maybe while you're doing something else or you're just like chilling. Maybe it's the type of thing that you've become accustomed to like listening to towards the end of the day or the beginning of the day or the middle of the day, that it's just nice to have something routine. But when I say that you occasionally should just throw something on, I mean, I don't want, like, for me, I kind of like to learn, not like learn like this is a lecture or a lesson, but like, I don't know, something historical, you know. It doesn't need to be like super informative. I can honestly focus on like the spectacle or the horror or like a catastrophe, you know, throwing on some Chernobyl videos and stuff like that. Because sometimes, boy, when you're dealing with the wrong people, I hate to know that, you know, Haley or anybody might have just had the opportunity to not go out and then ended up going out and found themselves in a situation that was like, oh my God. I wouldn't call it like avoidable, but like it definitely wouldn't have gone this way this soon if you was just kicking it, playing a game or watching some YouTube videos. So I don't know. I hope that my videos can be distracting enough, you know? And real life doesn't come to get you so hard. 'Cause it's coming to get us all. Number 9, realizing that I want to spend my life with someone. Oh, what a sobering experience. But don't have the means to move in with them. Now we're talking. Sorry, come on, Kyle. I don't have the means to move in with them, get married, start a life, etc. I start driving. I haven't driven due to fear and mostly got rides everywhere. And I got a real job. Wow, what a step. I'm saving up to get a home with my partner so that we can live happily together. Well, I hope that goes well for you. Saving for a home. Taz says, Kyle, it's been a shitty day. Just found out a good friend is in the ICU with liver failure. For this, Jesus Christ, dude. For the same reasons that kill Mandy, I'm very sorry, and I hope that things, you know, do not, you know, go the holy shit the same way, but that's insane. That's so specific. That's oddly specific. That's oddly specific. And it sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope things pan out the way, in a positive way. Number 8. A key moment in my development happened in a summer job that I had when I was 18. One of my duties at this small industrial facility was to open the garage-styled overhead doors at the start of the day and close them at the end of the day. One day, I went to close them and discovered that one had been pulled so far up that the roller had come off of its track. I couldn't get it to go back down. So I get Frank, the low man, on the totem pole at this place, and he looks up at it and says, "Did you do this?" I hemmed and hawed and explained that it wasn't my fault, that there should have been a stop or a guide or something to keep it from happening. Again, he asked, "Did you do this?" And again, I evaded. Finally, he said, "Stop making excuses, admit you fucked up, and we'll fix it." I almost uttered some more bullshit, but instead said, "Yeah, I did fuck that up, let's fix it," and we did. That lesson is still fresh after a third of a century. It's a shame that some people will live their life never learning this lesson. And not to throw my mom under the bus, but she is completely one of these people. She will never apologize for not just being wrong, but being like an asshole when she knows she's wrong. And I'm sure a lot of y'all got people in your life that are kind of like that, where it's like, even though they recognize that where they're coming from has been completely and utterly incorrect, they're going to ride that sinking ship, And when you get at them for it, they're just going to try to change the subject when they realize, hey, okay, you know what I mean? And you're never going to get an apology either. You're never going to get an apology. You're never going to get an acknowledgement. Sometimes you don't need an apology. You just need an admission, my dude. It's really reached a point sometimes where it's like, if you played a recording back to them, they'd still refute what they said. And that's the craziest type of thing in the world. How do you deal with that? How do you guys in your life deal with people that you could never have around you in a capacity where you'll ever be able to keep your guard down? That's the scariest part. And when they're family, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, boy? Just live knowing that the moments that you'll share out of the presence of some people will be the gifts that you can't pay for. Money can't buy the gift of solitude and isolation. Holy hell. Number 7, walking into rehab center, I had like 6 months prior. Wait, you were walking back in there? December 2006, I had been a drug addict for 15 years. And even the people who desperately loved me were about to cut me off. I knew in my heart that this was my last chance to get my life in order, otherwise it would be over. Well, that was a gross Kyle noise. That's unfortunate. I almost made it through the list without it. How long is this so far? 18 minutes? 18 minutes and you couldn't get... Well, I mean, your nose is clogged up. What do you want me to do? Mute the mic. That's what you could have did. Amazing. Yeah, I know some people who got, fucked up on meth and all kind of bullshit. I got so much shit when I was younger for being the goodest of boys, not wanting anything to do with a lot of the hoes that are desperate to get my cock in them so that they can pop out a baby and then string me along with this awful life, not staying at these parties that everybody wanted me to make these appearances at. And then, as soon as I got there, I'm just like, all right, here I am. Hello, kindness. I gotta go. Gonna stop at Taco Bell on the way home. Just go home, play some video games, and that'll be that. But the amount of people that I know that were just abusing everything they touched, man. It didn't need to be hard drugs. It didn't need to be hard drugs because the capacity in which they were, the amount of which they were fucking with the things that they did have access to, it was enough to destroy them for the rest of their lives. It was enough to destroy their bodies in a way where they were living like a person 3 times their age. And that sucks, but a lot of them didn't even have the opportunity to reach the sobering realization that if they don't stop, it will be too late. Yeah. And whether they lost their life, whether they lost, use of parts of their body, whether they had to go into surgery, whether, They ended up incarcerated because of a mistake that they made at the wrong place at the wrong time in front of the wrong people. I'll tell you, man, my most sobering experiences are knowing when to just keep your head down and cooperate, my dude, because you may be in the midst of people with A, nothing to lose, B, a chip on their shoulder where they have all of this shit to prove, where, like and this is going to sound super insensitive, but either you're living in denial or you're super inexperienced as it comes to life. Okay? And I hope that your experiences teach you that what I'm saying isn't untrue, or that as you grow, the world changes so that you never have to see what I've seen. But my God, some of the people in certain positions, like it's natural for people to abuse authority. Power corrupts, right? Absolute power corrupts, absolutely. But to see certain people just, oh my God, need to prove that they're, a female in a position is just as good as a man, or, a short guy is just as capable as a tall man. Everybody's got their insecurities. But instead of them controlling it and their emotions, they allow their emotions and their insecurities to control them. And then everybody else is made like miserable for their experiences with these people. And either to kiss ass and like feed into their garbage, or you're gonna find yourself in their crosshairs. Holy shit. I pray, if there's one ability that I hope that you all learn, it's the ability to discern, my dude. And when you get into a situation, remain situationally aware, specifically with the people you're dealing with. Learn to read these people and figure out if something's wrong with them, okay? Treat them with respect. Treat them with, what they probably didn't get and they're desperate for. Because, hey, it's wild. It's wild out there. Look, number 6. I started teaching right out of college at age 22. Why? I know that's rude. Do I have any teachers in here? Probably not like the stream immediately, but I wonder if I have any teachers overall. If you're watching this video after the fact and you're a teacher, let me know in the comment section. I'm curious as to your real thoughts, Because a teacher may not genuinely have the opportunity to tell other people how they really feel about what they're doing in this profession. Because there's a lot of judgment that comes with the role of a teacher, because they're dealing with children and students at a very pivotal, malleable part in their development. Very, very, very significant is the role of a teacher, because you're dealing with you're dealing with a human life and mind at its moment of intense flux. You know what I mean? I like to believe that once people reach probably 16, 17, 18, they're stabilized as far as how they're going to be and what they're going to become, whether they're going to remain like a kid in the mind or not. But, when they're younger, that's when they're really sorting out, and they're still kind of, to use video game terminology, they're still choosing where the sliders are going to be as far as their charisma and their roles. You know what I mean? Shit. So I really want to hear what a teacher is really feeling, like what they're going through and how they hate this thing, how they hate the job or love the job, and whether or not it's something that they would, if they had the opportunity to jump ship for, if they would. Because it seems like a lot of people who end up teaching teach because they kind of had to, as opposed to it being something that they significantly wanted to do. So sorry, I started teaching right out of college at the age of 22, and I got a job in a Title I school, teaching 5th grade science and social studies. Most students were Most students were held back at least once, and I had several students who were 12 and 13 years old. On the first day of school, I remember feeling so strange that I could shut my classroom door and be trusted to be responsible for the science and civic education of 90 kids. at age 22. My first years of school taught me a lot about the world, how it worked. I also grew a thick skin and learned to stand up for myself and developed a desire to always improve myself. Well, I guess you're still young, so to develop a desire like that is important. What sucks about school is that they are not equipping students and children with the desire to learn so much as the desire to pass these bitch ass tests. You know? And I don't know. Maybe the world in which we live is significantly different with these supercomputers that we tote around in our hands. But I don't know. The school system in America sucks, boy. Everybody should learn a trade. Trade. Number 5. Arrested for BDFI, being a drunken effing idiot. Just gonna download that. There you go. You earned it. Realized that almost every problem in my life was related to the fact that I was acting like a drunken frat boy at 27 years old. You know? It would be sad enough if you weren't drinking. I never quit drinking completely, but I stopped making it a focal point of my life. My entire life turned around completely. Be honest, did you pick up vaping or something? You gotta replace it with somebody. People can't just quit shit cold turkey. Somebody says, when every story starts with "we were wasted," you know your life is totally focused all around alcohol. Focused. Boom, boom, clap. Boom, de-clap. Number 4. When my mom was dying, I had to square with a whole lot of suck it up and deal moments, so that shit could get done. She'd been sick for a while, but had always been private about it until the last few months, when she was rapidly getting worse, especially when my grandmother also got horribly ill at the same time. I got used to the sight/smell of bile real fast. And with the fact that I needed to catch my mom's puke in a bowl because she couldn't walk to the toilet. I got used to spending nights and weekends in hospital rooms so that my mom would have someone with her while dad was checking in on grandma. I got used to calmly talking about end-of-life arrangements because that stuff had to be taken care of. I even got used to not being able to talk about it with anyone, because who was I going to spill it to? Everyone else in the family was dealing with a much worse scenario than I was. It sucked horribly, and it was the worst year of my life, but it was definitely a growing experience in terms of just learning how to get shit done, even if it was in the most horrific circumstances. Sucks. If I may grab the subject of this post to, I don't know, man. Yeah, sometimes I lay awake at night and think about the fact that I'm gonna die, and it sucks and it's scary, and nothing. What comes next? Does anything come next? And most likely not. I don't know. None of us know. But I think it's really a good idea to make sure that if you, like, most of us don't have much to leave, so it's not even that big a deal. But if you have something that you need to take care of in the event that, let's say, you were going to die tomorrow, I think it's very important that you make those sorts of arrangements. You write that kind of shit down, because you never know when we may go, and for certain things to be up in the air when you're gone could cause some problems, At least have somebody that some of the money goes to or whatever, and have that be that. Being on my ball. Matthew Bird says, has Kyle considered trying to do an audiobook? I've done a couple of short audiobooks. They're all terrible. Just kidding. They're great. And I know that some of the people who have written them watch me, and I enjoy your guys' work. The only thing that I can say that I had any kind of reaction to was some of the erotic stuff that I've read, which is absolutely hilarious because it was of the vaguely homoerotic variety. I'm always K says, I like the Sasuke thumbnail. Kyle, what do you think about Naruto's childhood? I don't know too much about it, man. I've only watched Naruto Classic, and like I've tried to make it through Shippuden a couple of times, but I just can't do it. And it's not because I don't like it, it's just because I need the patience to get through it. I'm one of those guys. I'll get around to it eventually, so I'm sorry. But I'm behind. I'm not a true weeb. Big titty girls. A ninja with a pencil says, I'm going to leave so many things unfinished as I can. That's how you stick around longer, according to ghost theory. Bruh. Number 3. In my late 20s, my mom needed open heart surgery, so I moved home for over a year to look after her. Up until that point, I honestly can't think of a single responsible thing I had really done. Well, I don't know. Number 2, I got pulled over doing 90 in a 55. I was 17 years old, you cunt. And in my state, it is when you are legally an adult. I hope they persecuted your ass within the full bing bongs of the law, but something tells me your ass is white as the driven snow. I was still in high school and on my way back from my military drill that weekend. The officer had me stop the engine, get out, and then proceeds to handcuff me on the side of the road in my uniform and had me sit on the grass. Then we proceeded to have a nice long talk about making choices and consequences of my actions if I had crashed or lost control, and what happened if he booked me for this. Reckless endangerment, operating a motor vehicle 35 miles per hour in excess of the speed limit, reckless driving. I was going to be one fucked teenager. He took the handcuffs off, handed me my keys, and told me that he had never see my name come up anywhere for anything ever again before letting me go. I was shaking so bad I could barely drive off the highway. Suffice to say, I've never had another traffic violation. Sounds like what you need is a goddamn male figure in your life to smack some stupid ass sense into your freaking mind, you little bastard. You're 17 years old driving 90 in a 55? That's 10 miles away from 100 miles per hour, my dude. It's not even on like one of them highways where, you know, like sometimes you're on the highway, my dude, and the speed limit is one thing, but everybody's going like 10 over that. So yeah, you match everybody else's speed. It's not to obstruct, you know, the flow of traffic, because obstructing the flow could cause more of an accident than other people who are all matching a certain pace. But 55, 65, 75, 85, my dude, you're over 30 over the limit? You know what I mean? A slight breeze could not just take your life, but you could be ruining somebody else's. That's what people don't get, and that's what makes me fucking furious, is like when people get behind the wheel of a vehicle, my dude. You know what I mean? Genuine accidents happen every day. Genuine accidents happen every day. There's a spider in the car and someone freaks out, they jerk the wheel. Somebody sneezes, you know what I mean? And it makes them convulse just a little bit with their hands on the wheel, and the wheel, you know what I mean? The rain and the car's gonna hydroplane. Real shit can happen that can take somebody's life. And it's happened before. I want you to think about that. A spider in a vehicle, an eyelash in somebody's eye, has ended up costing people their lives. Lives that they've been living for decades. And just one day end up in a fucking vehicle that's in the path of some douche that sneezed on a slick road, and now they're all dead. Think about it, okay? So when you have people that are sober and are young and are privileged and are stupid and don't have enough of a male figure in their life to make it clear to them that, hey, you want to drive reckless, you better keep it in a video game, you little motherfucker, because if you end up behind bars or in trouble, they're going to come straight after the shit that you love, as if that has anything to do with it. You know what I mean? You remember when Columbine happened? Must be Marilyn Monroe's fault. That motherfucker. Are there shootings going on? Must be the video game's fault. War didn't exist before video games. People are going to just, Why did he let you go? Because you were white and you were in uniform? And I'm sure if there was a video of it, of a dude going 90 in a 55, we'd have Danica's bitch ass in here, like, defending him. Oh, we don't know what he's going through in his personal life, and we have to understand where he's coming from. Dude, in military outfit, you should know better. There is not a sufficient enough excuse for you to be going 30 over the limit, my dude. At 17 years old, bitch, you ain't got shit going on in your life. You rush into a family member that's dying or something? Did you get notice of like a robber at somebody's house, you know? Bruh, you just ain't going nowhere. Okay. Not that it would matter. 30 in excess. 30 in excess. Your vehicle becomes a battering ram, my dude. Fuck this guy. Fuck him so hard. I don't know how to feel, because I don't want to touch that entry. The person writing it is just relaying a story. No, wait, this is the guy that got pulled over. Yeah, fuck him. He said I got pulled over. Okay. Fuck you, bitch. Oh boy. Major props to that good cop. I don't know, man. I agree wholeheartedly that the prison system and basically the hoops that they would have thrown him in to jump through would not have fixed him, and maybe scaring some sense into him did him a whole hell of a lot of good. But my dude, he did it. So he got off lucky. Number one, when I was 22 to 23, I would always insult my brother as a joke. I never complimented him or anything. One day he kind of exploded on me, and before I could say something, I realized he was right. All I did was try to bring him down for no reason, and I stopped, which ironically annoyed him for a while, because I would throw in compliments and I stopped insulting him. Holy hell. That's fucked up. It's kind of sad. Well, there's that list. I almost made it out of the day without making a list, but we did it. How was your day? Did it go well? Did you take pictures? Send me the highlight of your day to Snapchat CYAEL, or share it with the Discord, and then we can all talk about the highlight of your day. I went to go see Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. That movie sucked. Don't go see that if you haven't already. Some dude told, oh my dude, I had the courage to tell my parents that they're gay. Hell yeah. You did it, teenagers. You got them. Now that's a shit post. Now that's what I call shit posting. Holy hell. Wait, where are the memes? Did they really do this? Wow, dude. I don't understand. It says disable memes on the side of the page, yet I don't see any. You know? It's as if it's only text posts on teenagers, which essentially turns this whole forum into like a joke page. And that's really fucking gay. Why are the mods on teenagers such fuckboys? God damn. It's like everybody needs to try to get their dick in something just to ruin it for everybody else. I guess that's a natural course of things, is that nothing can exist for a sufficient amount of time without being ruined. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. So yeah, Fortnite posted a picture of a dude's visor, and the dude's name is the Visitor. The Visitor is a dude that was part of the battle pass for season 4. Season 4, when the comet fell out of the sky and like crushed a portion of Fortnite's map and changed it, like there was a big divot or crater, which over time through the seasons ended up, overgrown with like forest life. But there was a comet, and inside that comet was a little hatch. And when the hatch opened, the implication was that the Visitor came out of that hatch. And now we're seeing, a bunch of seasons later, we're in season 10 now, that he had a lot to do with some of the rifts that were going on and like the missiles and shit like that. And he's changing a bunch of the points of interest in the game to reflect those places in different points of time and shit like that. And that's interesting. But now we have one where the reflection of the is this nigga for real? In one of the discords I'm in, some dude is just spamming oh my god. Oh my god. Bastards. All right. So guys, what's going on with you? Linda says that makes me sad, Kyle. I was looking forward to that movie. Here's the thing. It's not terrible. It's not below like a 5 out of 10. I consider it watchable. But if you want like my very quick summary without me spoiling or ruining anything, I think the movie could have used 2 more monsters. And I'm going to go ahead and count in my hand how many I think there are. There's some. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 monsters. There's 4 monsters and then 1 like situational thing that happens. So that's 5 overall, okay? Now, I don't know much about the source material, but I do know that there were perhaps more than 5 stories. And if they had more monsters, they could have adapted more of those monsters for the movie. I believe that there should have at least been 2 more monsters for this movie. Do you know what I mean? And call me spoiled, but I do believe maybe I should make a video just talking about it with Dia, because she had strong feelings about it. We were almost arguing in the car on the way back because she just didn't like it. And I was trying to get I don't know if she wanted it to be an anthology, and I was pitching a version of the movie to her that she seemed to really like, but it wasn't the movie that we went to go see. And it kind of, to me, wasted a little time with the development / fleshing out of some of these characters, which, who cares? You're watching like a flick where you think people are going to be killed off. It's like, oof, is this dude for real? Oh my god. Hold on, I have an idea. Sorry, yeah, Jared's channel is like blowing up. It's ridiculous. I'm a WizK says, hey, Kyle, narration of scary stories to tell in the dark. I would love to, but my channel would get struck so hard. I tried reading a chapter of Harry Potter, and they struck that shit clean off my channel, boy. That was a fun 3 months. Anyway, I mean, I don't know how the hell I could phrase it. Do I do a critique? You know? Do you guys interrupt with donations so we can read and talk about that in the middle of it and make it transformative? That's the thing. It has to be transformative. So is it like a live critique? I don't know how to package that to get away with it. You know? I when I came home, I threw on some of them, and there was like an audiobook narration, and my God, the dude was just unbearable. He was shouting. It was like a "Where's my toe" story or something like that. And the dude is just like, "Where's my toe?" I'm like, whoa, dude, take it down a notch. What a voiceover. Linda says the highlight of her day was finishing a crochet project. I'm glad that she got the opportunity to do that. Nikki Sweet says the highlight of my day was biting through my tongue. That's not good, unless you're into that kind of pain. I guess everything's somebody's fetish. True Silverwolf says, I just came in to the end of the stream. Congratulations, you did it. Yeah. Dakota Fanning was confusing in OATIH. What is that? What's that, guys? What is OATIH? OATIH. Oh, Once Upon a Time in no. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? How does that make that acronym? Where's the U? Why wouldn't upon be part of it? Ciano says, I took a butterfly for a bit and let it go today. It was eager to get far away. You took it. You stole it from the real world. You stole it. Okay. Well, Truman got out of school, and that's dope. Well, I'm glad you all had a great day, you know? And I look forward to seeing and hearing more from you soon. If you want to add me on PS4, the same username everywhere, CYAEL, Twitter, Snap. Linda says gameplay, I mean like it's 1:20 in the morning, and I do have to get up to make some things happen, but I did download a game that I do want to play for you guys, so hopefully if I can get back tomorrow and just be dropped off and not have anybody up my ass, we'll go from there. Love ya. And I do have some projects to finish, but you shouldn't screw with you guys seeing me at the end of the day at the minimum. Hope you guys saw my impressions of Modern Warfare, which is shaping up to be amazing. It is free on PS4 right now, the alpha. So I'd recommend it to somebody if you just want to get a feel for like the guns and the movement and the gameplay and shit. But I think, to be honest, you might like the beta more when it comes out, because the beta will allow for a 6v6 mode where it's 6 people on your team, 6 people on the other team. When you die, you can just respawn and keep going and have fun. But in this mode that's available right now, it's 2v2, and if you die, you are dead for that round. And then the round will restart, and you have the opportunity to kill the other 2 people, versus your 2 people. And if you die, you stay dead until it's over. But, the beta will be open as well, so you won't have to pre-order it to download it and try it. And it'll be cross-play, so you can play it across PS4 or Xbox, PC. Blah, 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 blah. Love you all. Thank you, patrons, for doing what you do. You're amazing. Thank you, sponsors, for coming through. You're hot stuff. And thank you to Taz. Thank you to everybody that was here. Thank you for those of you liking the video. And I'll see you again soon. Love you. Bye, 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 bye.